Chapter 113. Healing. Metropolis City, the entrance to the Great Joy Hall. Your Majesty, long live, long live. Your Majesty, long live, long live, long live. The 5 million Divine Blood Army, along with the corpses of a bunch of officials from the former Great Slaughter Heavenly Dynasty, all refined into zombies, knelt on one knee, performed the military salute, and paid homage to Great Emperor Shu. The Great Yuan group of officials were so excited for a while. Your Majesty, how strong are these zombies? Mo Yike asked eagerly. When Mo Yike opened his mouth, everyone suddenly fell silent. Not long ago, when the ghosts of the Great Killing Heaven Dynasty came out, the scene was astonishing. This soul and physical body were separated, and the soul body had become powerful. But what about the physical body? What is the harvest of the Great Slaughter Imperial Palace that you have raided these days? Great Emperor Shu said indifferently. Mo Yike frowned slightly and said, there are numerous magical treasures and numerous tomes. Only, those magical treasures have perhaps been dormant for too long, as if they have lost their spirituality. There are also quite a lot of spirit stones, only, compared to a Heavenly Dynasty's treasury, it seems to be a bit too little. Only 5 billion top-grade spirit stones, not even as much as the 30 heavenly and earthly vertical and horizontal arrays that were set up earlier. Great Emperor Shu shook his head and looked up into the sky at the Great Killing Imperial Palace that had been slowly destroyed. In previous years, the Great Slaughter Imperial Palace's spirit stones were piled up all over the palace, and everyone was buried under them. Great Emperor Shu faintly said. Oh, Mo Yike raised his eyebrows. What about the spirit stones? How come it's gone? An official said in surprise. Emperor Shu didn't say anything either, but the group of officials instantly comprehended it. All of it was absorbed by these zombies. Qin Zibai's face changed. Great Emperor Shu nodded. Under the 9-9 Sealjong formation, the people of the Great Killing, the body and soul are separated. But there is a trace of connection. The soul increases, then the flesh rises. The endless spirit stones are consumed by the flesh. The spirit of a bunch of magical treasures are also pressed by the 9-9 Sealjong formation into these 5 million corpses. Oh, then how is it compared to the strength of the 5 million ghosts of the Divine Blood Army? Mo Yike frowned. Only stronger, but not weaker. Great Emperor Shu revealed a hint of pride and said, only strong but not weak. Boom. Above the square, everyone was in an excited uproar. Those ghosts, but the minimum was the lower heavenly palace are. The lowest are, only strong and not weak. These 5 million zombies really is the open heaven palace strength. 5 million open heaven palace. Isn't that invincible? The 3 heavenly dynasties and the 3 holy places combined can't possibly be as powerful as my Daiwan, right? Long live the Great Yuan Imperial Dynasty. King Shikong steeped in congratulations. Great Yuan Imperial Dynasty, long live the Great Yuan. The group of ministers drank excitedly. Great Emperor Shu revealed a hint of satisfaction, listening to the group of ministers' shouts. But Great Emperor Shu slowly looked towards the northwest. In that direction was the Great Qian Dynasty. Looking in the direction of the Great Qian Heavenly Dynasty, a strong wariness flashed through Great Emperor Shu's eyes. Your Majesty, these heavens have come and gone. The Guhai should be dead as well, right? Bat Ancestor suddenly spoke. Great Emperor Shu looked at Bat Ancestor. Your Majesty promised to let Guhai go, but Guhai is already dead, and that ice essence belongs to my Great Yuan, so it's time to get it back, Bat Ancestor said in a deep voice. Great Emperor Shu pondered for a while. The ice essence entered the body. Guhai's bunch of divine palace stanchions must have been torn apart a long time ago. That's the king of ice essence. Guhai will die for sure. Your Majesty, the ice essence is the property of my Great Yuan. It must be retrieved. I would like to take charge of this matter, King Shikong said in a deep voice. Your Majesty, my bat can search. The Bat ancestor also called out at once, "Your Majesty, I am willing to find it." The crowd of Chong clan elders spoke up one after another. Mo Yaika, Qin Zai Bai, and Chong Sheng, however, frowned and did not speak. Great Emperor Shu looked at the crowd. Bat ancestor, King Shikong, Qin Zai Bai, Mo Yaik, and Chong Sheng each lead 100,000 zombies and cultivate a tacit understanding. 100,000 zombies, zombies from the heaven-opening palace. Yes, the crowd answered at once. The zombie army, in the end, still needed someone to command it. The four great families and Bat ancestor, in the end, were the people that great Emperor Shu trusted the most, and at once, each of them was divided into 100,000 zombies. At the same time, Shu Great Emperor's tone could be heard. He was agreeing to recover the ice essence. Guhai explained about the ice essence's treatment and fell into a coma. And the remaining weak consciousness was nearly all focused on the fire god and the heaven repairing power. The fire god was frowning slightly at the moment, mobilizing the great fire to ablate the cold. Looking at the kidney orifices in the distance amidst the solid ice with a burst of anxiety. It's been 2 days already. Why isn't there any movement from Bingji? The fire god was anxious for a while. Now, Guhai still had one way left, which was to release the Samadhi true flame, releasing it completely and opening it up, ablating the cold chair, and ultimately using the heaven-mending power to mend the body. However, this was a risky move. In case the amount of heaven-mending power was not enough, one's injuries would be disastrous. One could only wait patiently for Bingji to cast the spell. This wait was 2 days. The fire god was anxious for a while. The heaven-mending power was consuming more and more. Why didn't Bingji treat it yet? Waiting for another hour. If Bingji has not moved, can only take this dangerous move. The fire god waited patiently, but steeply, the god of fire realized that the internal organs trembled violently, and countless large cold chase suddenly surged towards a certain place in the kidney orifices. Rumble, a black hole seemed to form at the kidney orifice, in the midst of frantic absorption. What's going on? Bingji has struck. The fire god was surprised. As the cold chair in his body became less and less, the fire god seemed to gradually see clearly. Bingji's Yuan Ying. How? The fire god was surprised. However, he saw that at the place of the kidney orifices, a small Yuan Ying in the shape of a woman appeared outside the kidney orifice ice mountain. Bingji's Yuan Ying had entered his body. The Vulcan opened his mouth in shock. For someone else's Yuan Ying to enter one's body, there was only one situation in Guhai's knowledge, and Lin Wana had done just that. Yin Yong door cultivation. Being pushed backwards, the Vulcan opened his mouth in consternation. Thinking about this, the fire god burst into bitter laughter. So, the secret art of the Ji clan was a dual cultivation secret art. No wonder when he asked Bingji to save himself earlier. Bingji had her head down and her voice was like a mosquito. The fire god slowly retreated back to the fire god palace in a bitter smile. This was because, with Bingji's Yuan Ying entering his body, the coldness in Guhai's body had been brought under control. As Bingji's Yuan Ying entered Guhai's body, there was also a tangle of goodness, and her face still carried a trace of unwillingness. Her mouth kept chanting as if she was convincing herself. When the time came to suck away the cold air attached to her body, Bingji's Yuan Ying was slightly stunned. Impossible. The 5 viscera and 6 bowels are actually fine. Nothing at all. Shouldn't it have been destroyed long ago? A complex color flashed across Bingji's Yuan Ying's face. Bingji's Yuan Ying leaned against Guhai's kidney orifice, which was fully shrouded in solid ice along with the kidney body. Bingji's Yuan Ying held onto the mouth of the kidney orifice, and her face was in a state of dismay. I thought that the Emperor would die before I used this secret technique, because the ice essence has already fused with the Emperor. Even if I extracted the Emperor's kidney, It would be impossible for me to refine it. The only way to refine the soul of the ice essence is to use this secret technique. Only after refining the soul of the ice essence will I have the chance to avenge my mother. I thought the emperor would die, I thought. Bingji's Yuanying was caught in a wave of entanglement. Ice Ji's Yuanying was silent for a good while. Looking at the kidney orifices that were still releasing cold air, a tangle of bitterness appeared on Bingji's face. For the sake of the ice essence soul, Ice Ji did not hesitate to make such a sacrifice. After all, in the beginning, the plan was that ultimately, the emperor would die. Now, the emperor might not be able to die, but Ice Ji did not know how to face it for a while. Silence for a while, Bingji finally eyes firm down. Only this method can refine the ice essence soul. Mother's revenge must be avenged, must be. A determination flashed in the eyes of Bingji's Yuanying. Opening her mouth, she fiercely sucked in. Who are you? Steeply, the rolling cold air was instantly and completely inhaled into Bingji's mouth, and the firm ice on the periphery of the kidney orifices also rapidly melted away, slowly revealing the kidney orifices. That was also blocked by countless solid ice, but Bingji Yuanying still stepped in. Boom. Steeply, all the cold air and firm ice around was surging towards Bingji Yuanying. Gradually, Guhai's kidney orifices slowly returned to their original state. Water God Palace. The emperor used the water god to build his foundation. Bingji Yuanying frowned as she looked around. Cold air surged towards Bingji Yuanying, revealing everything inside. The water god palace's true elemental sphere slowly rotated, and in the middle of the sky above, an ice mountain floated, and it was none other than that ice essence. It's you, ice essence. I want your essence. The Ice Ji Yuanying at a loud shout, and immediately rushed up, probing and waving her hand. And immediately a blue energy was generated in her palm, seemingly pulling on the ice mountain. The iceberg seemed to feel something, and steeply swept out a blue energy to counterattack the Ice Ji Yuanying. Boom! Ice Ji Yuanying was instantly knocked backward by the counterattack. Cluck 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 cluck. The ice mountain let out an angry sound. Ice Essence King. Stronger than I expected. No matter what, I'm going to get your essence. The Ice Ji Yuanying burst with anxiety and rushed forward once again. Ice Ji blasted her palm on top of the ice mountain. The ice mountain seemed to have a spirit, knowing that the Ice Ji Yuanying seemed to be unfavorable to herself, and immediately suppressed it. Boom! With a loud boom, the Ice Ji Yuanying was shaken and fell down. At this moment, it was even showing a pained expression. Boom! The ice mountain was unforgiving, booming as it pressed down on Bingji Yuanying. It even bloomed a blue light that enveloped Bingji. Ice Ji let out a wave of painful sounds. No, you still want to revolt against me. I'm going to refine your essence, and you still want to eat me. Impossible. How can it be so strong? Bingji Yuanying rose up in alarm. Rumble. The ice mountain suppressed. The power grew bigger and bigger. The Ice Ji Yuanying showed a look of horror, as if it couldn't resist the suppression of the ice mountain at all. No, my Yuanying, I can't perish. I haven't avenged my mother yet. Don't. The Ice Ji Yuanying showed a desperate look of horror. However, the ice mountain, it is still not relentless. Earlier Ice Ji absorbed the cold air of the ice mountain. Now, when the ice mountain suppresses Ice Ji, it is in turn forcibly ingesting the energy of Ice Ji's body. The big suppression, Ice Ji Yuanying, is even more difficult to escape. At the time of Bingji's despair, Guhai's water true element ball suddenly flew to Bingji's place. Buzz. When Guhai's water true element ball touched Bingji's Yuanying, it abruptly released a warm energy that surged into Bingji's body. And once this energy entered Bingji's Yuanying's body, it was like a stimulant, and instantly the Yuanying was able to resist the backlash of the iceberg, and was able to absorb the power of the iceberg in turn. Buzz, Guohai's true elemental orb, and Bingji Yuanying were engaging in a bizarre energy swap and absorbing the iceberg energy. Both of them were suddenly in the midst of rapid growth. For a while, it seemed as if the Ice Ji Yuanying was enjoying this energy swap very much. You have me and I have you. Dual cultivation secret method. Your Majesty also has a dual cultivation secret method. And it seems like it's even more powerful than my dual cultivation secret method. Bingji enjoyed this warm energy replacement and was surprised.